PCI YouTube channel. Dear friends, we are going to explain the transition curve in detail. A definition, we can say that a curve of gradually changing or varying their radius introduced between a straight line and a circular curve for the purpose of giving easy change of direction of a route is called a transition curve or easement curve. So you can see here that it's mean that we when we want to require easement direction, then we provide a transition curve. Transition curve is mostly used in between a straight line and a circular curve. So you can see here that this is a complete transition curve. So these are two straight lines. So you can see here that straight line are tangent line, but we say that in theory that from a tangent line up to a circular curve we provide a transition curve. So we have written here that this is a transition curve, which is point out to this curve. So from this circular point to this tangent point, this is a transition curve, and this is a circular curve. So why we provide this transition curve? Because we want to get easement with changing in direction. So suppose if a vehicle is going to this direction, we want to require into this direction. So there is a line which we provide with varying radius. So this line will have a zero curvature. It's mean that at starting point this curvature will be zero. By increasing this line up to this circular junction, then the curvature of this line will also increase, just like in super elevation and so on. So this curve is started from this point to tangent line up to this circular curve junction, and especially this curve is also used in this transition, this at the end of circle, circular curve and the tangent point. So this is suppose tangent 1 and this is tangent 2, which means the tangent two lines, and this is a circular curve. We want to join these two junction, just like this tangent line communicate with this circular junction. Then we provide a curve. That curve will be called a transition curve. So for this purpose that we get a sample easement and a changing of a direction of a route. Why we provide a transition curve? Objectives of transition curve. Objective of transition curve. So the objective of introducing a transition curve at each end of a circular curve is follow. So we say that at this lines we note that the transition curve is mostly used at the end of sentence. So you can say here that these are suppose these are two straight line. These are two straight line. We say that a transition curve mostly used at the end up as a straight circular curve. So this is a circular curve. Suppose this is a circular curve, we need to use that. We say that a transition curve is mostly used at the end of a circular curve. So this is the one end we use that this is a transition curve, and this is the other circle. So you know that this is suppose. So you can see here this is a transition curve, and this is a circular curve. So now we are going to explain that why we use this transition curve. Number first, to obtain a gradual increase of curvature from zero at the tangent point to the specified quantity at a junction of transition curve with the circular curve. It's mean that when suppose it's mean that this is a two straight line, and we this is a circular curve. We say that to provide easy change or easement changing up route direction, then we provide transition curve. So the starting point the curve will be at zero curvature. Then with increase of this point, the curvature of this point line will be increased. So you can see here that as compared to this line, this line at the starting point, this line having a zero curvature, but increasing this line up to this circular junction, the curvature of this line will be increased up to required point that which is required for us. And this can, the other curve is also just like this. At this starting point, the curvature of this line will be zero as compared to this straight line, but up to this required point, the curvature will be maximum by increasing this line, just like you can see here. As compared to this line is having a much curvature. And the second, we say to provide a satisfactory means of obtaining a gradual increase of super elevation from zero on the tangent to the specified amount of the on the main circular curve. So if you give that in a circular, suppose this is a road and we provide a super elevation, suppose this is the center of super elevation, suppose this is a height 10 centimeter and so on. So if you want to require a height, then suppose this is a transition curve, this is a circular curve. Suppose this is a circular curve, we provide a transition curve here just like the same direction. This line is having a zero magnitude, but will increase up to this required point. So you can see here that this curve is having a maximum curvature with increasing this line. So at this kind, at the end of this curve is 2, then the line will be called. So you can see here that this line now you can see here having a zero curvature, but increasing this line, the curvature of this line is also increasing. For this easement we provide a transition curve. And third one, to accomplish gradual the transition from the tangent to the circular curve and from the circular curve to the tangent. Types of transition curve. As you know that every curve with gradually changing radius will be transition curve. So its generally used types are given below, just like they are 3 in number. Number first, a cubic parabola curve. Number second, a spiral curve, and third number, a lemniscate curve. So their details in theory, which are the types of transition curve, we have written here in detail. Cubic parabola curve. First, the distance on the tangent line and the curve are considered equal in this type of transition curve. Because the curvature of the curve changes gradually. Number second, spiral curve. This curve considered best quality transition curve. This type contain all the quality of an ideal transition curve. And the third number is lemniscate curve. Its characteristics are like that of cubic parabola at the start, but with increase of its length, the characteristics have become like a spiral curve. This is considered much better for road racing, track, etc. So I hope that you will clear your concept about transition curve and its types and its objectives, that why we use a transition curve. So I thank you. Welcome for next videos.